Hello, dear aquarist and discus lover or discus hobbyist. Welcome to my fish disease case number 300. Yes, and I made already several discus videos, I think nearly 25, to learn or to teach you about these diseases that appear at discus fish. And today I have a special one for you. Yes, a unique case that I found with a discus importer, a breeder. Of course, dealing with fish is a risk of having problems. It's like life. Life can be risky of getting sick. Also discus fish. And today it's a special case and I share you my PowerPoint so you can follow with me my observations that I made during the examination of this discus that had a bacterial infection and also three parasites, three parasitic infections. Fish diseases also on discus in detail are discussed in the big book, the new illustrated guide, which is still available in French and in English. And there I discuss in detail what kind of diseases can appear in discus fish and what you can do about it. And here we see the discus that became skinny and had damaged fins. You can see the fins are badly damaged, the tail also, and the heavy respiration. Well, this fish was, well, dying. And we had to examine because other fish in the tank might also come down with this kind of advanced infection. So we observed fin rot or tail rot. You can see here the necrosis of the tissue of the fin. The gills looked very ruffled. See, there's not a nice pattern, but look, there's like gaps inside. It's not well formed gills, so there is some impact on the health of the gills. And that you can see here, that the gills were reddish, you can see like inflamed, you can see like deformation here, most likely bacterial infections playing a part, so the gill tissue was really badly shaped. And when we opened the fish to do an internal examination, we found bloody red organs. We took out the gut, we put it here, and you could see that also the excrements were blocked. You can see the white spaces here. That means there is something troubling the fish, that the excrements cannot pass fluently, and sometimes you can see the enlargements here, which is not normal for a healthy gut. Look, that's what we found when we took an examination with the microscope, and we found those parasites Nyctotherus. You can see them. It looks like Tetrahymena. Of course, this is damaging the gut, the intestinal wall. Here we can see that a larger magnification. And these parasites are really troubling the fish and causing serious impact on the gut system, on the immune system of the intestine, and causing a risk of infections like bacterial infections. Yes, here we see more observations. You also can see the bad organs here. Here is the liver, here is the spleen. Look how badly those organs are affected by those parasites or by the weakening of the fish and the intrusion of bacterial infections. That of course happens when these parasites are having impact on the health of the fish. So look how many parasites are here. That was for me a very interesting case. Other parts of that excrements we found the parasite Spironucleus, used to be called Hexamita. That was in other parts. And usually those parasites don't live together with the Nyctotherus because it's competition between the parasites. That's why you find the Hexamita or Spironucleus at other parts. Here we see more of those parasites, Spironucleus. You can easily recognize the behavior. Here more observations. This is typical Spironucleus in different other part of the gut. And at other parts we found the bacteria Spirochetus. See those slender, long organisms which are moving around, and also some Cryptobia parasites, the smaller white ones that are moving around in between those, well, those rod-shaped, very active, moving, elongated bacteria, Spirochetus. It's very unique to find it, but it's an aggressive bacteria that has a really impact on the organs and in general on the health of the fish. So you can see it here moving around. You also see the small Cryptobia, the white, small whitish parasites in between. So also that's Cryptobia jubilans also playing a part, well, in damaging the gut health. So what are problems we can find here? Here we see that a higher magnification. You can see the Cryptobia. You can see the Spirochetus bacteria. Of course, there are other bacteria will play a role in the infection in the organs. Usually with these kind of infections, we find 2-3 different kinds of bacteria that affect the organs. See on the left, the bad liver. On the right, the bad spleen. This is not normal, these dark inclusions. See on the left, the kidney. And on the right, the gonads, which are also badly infected. So all organs in very bad shape on this big discus, which I think looked very lovely when he was in good health. So the bacterial infection, that is usually secondary, but is causing real damage to the organs. And the treatment with metronidazole for the parasites, of course, is very important. Or you can look for similar products that's available in the shop. You can combine it with oxytetracycline and feraltadone to treat also the bacterial infections, which is necessary here. Or you can ask your shop for appropriate medications or ask your fish doctor. Details of the medications are listed in my books. You can see the link below. But the importance is the mix of infections of 3 parasites and a bacterial infection, internal and external. And what could be the general cause, origin? Poor feeding practices, poor food quality. Think about it. Evaluate what you're feeding the fish. And not only medicating the fish, but also helping the fish with a functional fish food. And in this case, I would recommend Dr. Bassleer Biofish Food Lapacho, which is helping to repair the fish. Details on fish diseases in my books, available in different languages. The link is below. Or you can get the training to make your discus better and healthier, or particularly to prevent that they come sick, to learn what is the causes of fish diseases, to learn how to diagnose. It's all available at my Patreon channel. So I hope this teaches you a lesson about serious infection on a discus fish, which is uncommon, yes. I don't have that often this kind of parasitic and bacterial infection. This was advanced, but interesting for me as a fish doctor and interesting for you, so you learned something. What we can encounter in fish diseases and here on Discus. Thank you for watching.